Chap Tales. Don't you wanna hear some Chap Tales? Digga 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 bum bum. Howdy strangers, how you doing? Alright people, what is happening? Nice. Okay, so we've been thinking about stories to tell, and I've thought of another sort of fishing inspired video. Well, these are made as YouTube video file things, but there's no video actually involved. It's just me talking. Yeah, but we've got some videos coming up. Chap live soon. Anyway, all right. So this little story. Okay, so I used to go down to Warton-on-Naze in Essex, like a beachy sort of place where a pal of mine had a caravan. We used to go down there and we used to cause havoc. But anyway, this ain't about the havoc that got caused down there. This is about, I was with a pal. I'm not going to mention the person's name in case they get the ump with me for putting it up on the intranet. So if you're that person, please, if you want to be known, put your name in the comments and say, people, I am Sugar Bing Bing. Anyway, so we go down to Walton for a mental weekend, and then while we're down there, I met some fella in one of the pubs who was a carp fisherman like what I used to be, and I was just chatting to him about where he goes and stuff like that, and then he was like, yeah, you know, when you're driving out of here, you get to the big roundabout where the old McDonald's is and that, just before you jump on the old M11. I was like, yeah, yes, slightly, I do know where you're talking about, yeah. And he said, well, to the left of the McDonald's, there's a little slip road that goes to this sort of long path between two edges. If you drive to the bottom of there, there's a carp lake, bang smack there, and that's where I do most of my fishing because I'm from round here. I was like, yeah, well, I do most of my fishing on Hampstead Heath. Great Hampstead Heath. So I said to him, yeah, all right, and yeah, so I'm going home tomorrow morning. So me and my pal will go and investigate on our way home. And he's like, yeah, sweet. I was like, all right, nice one. Thank you for telling me about the lake. So we had our mental weekend, and then I think it was a Monday morning, early doors, because I probably would have had to get back for work. So it would have been, I don't know, 6, 7 in the morning, something like that. So we set off, we leave Walton and we get to this roundabout, and just as he said, to the left of the Donald's is a like a little slip road that goes somewhere. So we decided to drive down it. So we went down it, got to the bottom of there, and then boom, just as he said, you come out and there's this amazing lake. Like, it's very carpy. It was perfect. It was just like, and I was like, oh my God, looks like we're not going to quite get to Walton anymore. We're just going to get as far as this roundabout and then go fishing. So we was looking anyway, in the car, we're looking around and that. And then I looked at it's like it had slopes going down to the lake all the way around it. But I was looking and I thought that I would be able to drive around the outsides of this lake and then stop off at certain points where we could get out of the car and go down and investigate things. But yeah, I was a bit wrong because we set off, checked out a few places, went round the other side, checked out some more, got round to the final bit before we turned back to the bit we was on in the beginning. And we're driving along, and then there was this bit, and there was a sign up sort of saying, oh, there's work being carried out, so please don't drive your vehicles down this bit. But what it meant was I'd have to reverse, and I wouldn't be able to turn around because basically, do you know what I mean? I'd have to reverse the whole way back the way I came in, like, and I just didn't fancy that. So we was looking at it, and it didn't look so bad. It looked a bit muddy, but I just thought, yeah, this is all right. I think we'll get away with it. So we decided to try and drive across this very muddy area. And anyway, so we go on across, and then I can feel like I had to spin the wheels a few times because we were getting a bit stuck. And then all of a sudden, it got to this section where I just sort of went over the side of the slope that goes down to the lake, and my car just starts sliding sideways down this hill, like, and I'm just looking, and I'm like trying to get out of there. My wheels are getting buried in the mud. I was like, oh my God, we're going in the lake. So my pal has undone his seatbelt, and he's put his window down and he's jumped out the window. I was like, oh, thank you, cheers, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know what's happened to him, but so in my head I'm thinking, right, if this motor goes in the water and that water's deep, there's no way on God's earth I want to be having a seatbelt on. So that came off, and I want all the windows down, because, do you know what I mean, when you're in the drink you might not be able to put the windows down because they was electric windows, and it probably would have, I don't know, not good. So anyway, I put all the windows down, I've took my seatbelt off, you know what I mean, so I was ready. If I went in the drink, I could swim out of this window, you know what I mean, like. And I'm there, I'm just like thinking to myself, well, I'm going to keep trying to save my Ford Mondeo before it goes in the drink. And then it was so funny because I slipped down to some bit, and then there was these two bits of concrete like in the floor, and basically the second my wheels went over these two bits of concrete, yeah, I just hit the throttle and acceleration. And basically, where my wheels spun on this thing, and they got the mud off the wheels and that, and then the minute they gripped, I just shot back up this hill, and basically out of danger. And I was just like, thank you so much, man, thank you. So I'm back up on the good bit of the path, like ready just to go on, right? So I've done the windows back up, and then I've looked in my mirror, and I can see my pal was basically, he looked like a mud man. He was covered in mud. Where he jumped out of the motor, he jumped right in a big mud pool, and he's coming back to the car, and like, so I'll start driving. He's like putting his hands in the air, like, what's happening? What's that? You gonna wait or what? So I just kept driving. Got round to where the gate is, like where you go back out onto the roundabout where the motorway is and all that. And I pressed lock on the lock, so it locked all the doors. And he's come over, and he's trying to open the door, and it's locked, like. So I've undone the window a little bit where he is, like, and I said, "There's no way on God's earth you are getting back in my car looking like that. There's no way. Do you know what I mean? You can walk home for all I care." And he was like, "Oh, you're bang out of order, mate," and all that. I said, "I'm bang out of order." I said, the minute you thought we was in danger, you was gone, mate. You jumped ship straight out the window. You was gone. You know what I mean? If I'd have gone in that pond, you'd have been probably laughing at me. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I basically said to him, "Go and clean yourself, mate, because you ain't getting in this car until you are clean." And I said, "Any muddy clothes, I've got some plastic bags here. You're going to take them off, put them in these bags, tie the bags up, and we'll put them in the boot until we get home." You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, like right pissed off at me and that. But there's no way on God's earth I'm letting that fella in my car. The way he looked, it was in his hair. There was mud in his hair. Like, it's just mental. So it's quite funny because I was sat there watching him, and he's gone back down to the lake. But it was so funny because there must have been another bit of mud, because he just went whoosh, straight up in the air, boom, straight down his ass, and he's like half in the pond, half out of the pond, and he's just laying on the floor looking up at me going, and I was in tears. I was just like, oh my God, right? So I sat there for about 40 minutes. I ain't even joking. Why he sat there cleaning himself and cleaning his clothes and all that, like, and basically he had like football shorts on under his jeans, like, so he took his jeans off and that, and I gave him these bags for little holes in the like where I had the window down so much, only a little bit, like, and he basically put his jeans, his trainers, all everything into these things. He took his coat off, his t-shirt was fine, so now I popped the boot, he put the bags into the boot and then shut the boot, and then I had a bit of a joke with him, like, no, not actually, mate, I don't think I'm gonna bother taking you home. Just gonna leave you here half naked. Anyway, after mucking about for a minute, I opened the door and that, and he got in, and I was like, see, jumping ship that quick. Don't jump ship till you know what I mean, like, and it was, he's just sitting there like it was summer, otherwise he'd have been freezing. But yes, but I just sort of carried on down the path, like, with him sitting there with a face like a smacked ass, and yeah, went round and roundabout, jumped on the M11, and we made our way home to London town. Yes, but it was proper funny to see how, like, do you know what I mean? When we got back to Ingester and that, and I dropped him off wherever I was dropping him off, and then he got out, like, and I got out and I took his stuff out of the boot and then give him these bags. And he looked like he was never going to speak to me again. But yeah, it was proper funny. Yeah, I suppose you had to be there to be extra funny, but it wasn't. But really, I'm just more glad that I managed to save the old Mondeo from going in the drink. But yeah, and you know what the funny thing was? We never actually ended up going fishing at this lake ever. After what happened, I think going down that lane again would be bringing back bad memories. Yeah, so sweet, nice one. All right, thanks for listening and that, and please like, subscribe, smash bells, and leave comments and all that sort of stuff. Nice one. All right, sweet. Chat Tales. Don't you wanna hear some Chap Tales?